He has been working in the ER for the past 25 years at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx. While working on the front lines during the pandemic, he teamed up with his cousin, award-winning writer Dan Capel, to write about the unparalleled experience of the chaos he was living through. TJ and Dr. Jen recently had a chance to sit down and talk to him about his new book. Every minute is a day, a doctor, an emergency room, and a city under siege. Take a look.
We introduce here by saying the chaos, the unparalleled experience of the chaos he was living. Is that close to describing it correctly?
Yeah, there probably aren't enough adjectives to describe the insanity that was the spring of 2020. It was whatever you can imagine times 10, just in the sheer volume and even more so the acuity and the critically ill, the number of critically ill patients that we saw in such a finite period of time.
And Rob, you know, you're at Montefiore, which is an incredibly busy medical center here in the Bronx. When you went through all that and then you got inspired to write this book, the title, Every Minute is a Day, when I saw that title, I thought, boy, it must have felt like a year at some point. But how did you pick that title?
What it really means is that in emergency medicine, if you intubate, put somebody on a ventilator once in a shift, maybe twice in a 12-hour shift, that's a lot. During the pandemic, during the apocalypse, we were doing in a minute what we would do normally in an hour. And in an hour was like what we would do in a week. And it was just insanity.
You know, Rob, I've spoken with TJ a lot about the fact, and here on the air, that when people hear COVID cases surging, hospitalizations surging, a lot of times the answer is, it's not going to affect me. I've been vaccinated. I'm fine. But what I try to remind people, and no one knows this better than you, is that if the hospitals are filled with COVID patients and you get into a car accident, you have a heart attack, you have a stroke, those things don't stop because we're dealing with COVID. And those hospitals are full. We will not get care for the heart attacks, strokes, car accidents. Have you seen that? And how worried about that are you, especially in the setting where a lot of these hospitalizations due to COVID are preventable?
Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely during the first wave, people just put off health care, and little heart attacks became congestive heart failure. Stage 2 cancers became stage 4. And you bring up a great point that if we fill hospitals with COVID patients, what's the natural progression? Do we shut down again? Do we stop seeing patients that need our care because we can't physically accommodate them? It is a real unfortunate sequelae of mass numbers of patients with the disease being admitted. There's just only so much room.
Can I ask you just here from a personal standpoint, I know you have a job to do, but to be where we are, to see what we all came through, and that now there's a vaccine out there that works. And so much of what we're going through now, this wave, another wave, health experts will put squarely on the fact that we can't get enough people vaccinated, and a lot of those people won't take and refuse to take the vaccine. Just a reaction to where we are now, knowing that some people are not doing what health experts say needs to be done.
Yeah, I want to preface by saying that I am not a microbiologist, and I'm certainly not an epidemiologist. And I'm not a political guy, but in my humble opinion, I cannot stress the importance enough of getting vaccinated. And I don't know what's holding some people back. If there are medical reasons, that's between you and your doctor. But if it's political reasons, if there's one thing I can assure you, that when you get COVID and you become short of breath and you get wheeled into the COVID zone of the emergency department, all of your political ideologies get checked at the door, and you need medical treatment, and that's the scariest moment of one's life.
And a big thank you to Dr. Robert Meyer. His new book, Every Minute is a Day, is available everywhere books are sold.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.